are live again, or semi-live.
Did you
Alright, so
save the last hour again?
yeah, so it's a bit confusing, but I saved the in-between process so that I can delete that out and not have to worry about that being added in.
Okay. So we are on to Junkertown, everybody. It looks like not PowerPoint has come in for the side of Valhalla and will be on tank. We have Brow Daddy moving to DPS. So couple little interesting switch ups here. And on the side of We the Ops, same six.
Same six.
So We the Ops will be running the Sigma Zarya along still with this Doomfish Junkrat, a Brig, which I'm so happy to see, and a Moira.
Interesting to see the pulled pork here from the side of Valhalla, running that Torbjorn Hanzo along with Baptiste, and it's quite a weird comp. Don't really see this very often. Um, see how they do. PowerPoint really needs to be careful up top here. If he gets hooked, he's pretty much done for.
Yeah, I was gonna say PowerPoint's really playing interestingly. Kind of didn't use his hook early, did bait out the other Roadhog hook, but had an
Nice hook though.
opportunity when they were pulled by VX Hunter and did not follow up on it, especially because Weird Hex had a Discord orb on the Roadhog.
Speaking of weird hex, let's follow them. I was gonna say they better not die when the second I.
Caster Curse. It exists in past broadcasts too.
PX Hunter
No.
was able to get the stagger onto IQ Simple there. Block has swapped, and Disc as well, onto a more brawl heavy sort of support line. Oh, and the Rock was there to stop PowerPoint from healing up, and Super Ninja with the final blow. That's a lot of point presence gone for Valhalla right now. IQ Simple just yeeting himself into the team, finding weird hex. Picks going back and forth, but Magic Man there, able to sort of confirm the point. And it looks like they will be able to take this all the way. Oh, dragons do come out. Brow Daddy finds Magic Man, who was sort of stuck in that little choke there. Looking like they're actually going to hold this. This is able to get one, but PowerPoint takes out IQ Simple. No DPS on the side of We the Ops right now. Investing the bongo as well, just to sort of confirm the point. Nice hook again from PowerPoint. Oh, and a nice rock from Buttweiser. I would say that OwO may have been unneeded, but they are able to take out Buttweiser.
Impressed to see though that Valhalla were able to kind of push the payload that far, yet We the Ops was able to kind of or I'm sorry, not Valhalla. We the Ops were able to push the payload that far, and Valhalla was able to stabilize it there at the end.
PowerPoint putting in work right now as well. Going on little flanks, I like this.
Getting a couple of early picks is definitely smart.
We're not going to talk about that hook there from PowerPoint.
You can tell he's at least communicating though, because Weird Hex on Zenyatta is kind of following up with him to be behind him to help kind of get him out of any fights if necessary.
A nice immort there as well to save BX Hunter. And we are seeing a few ults coming online. Make that a lot of ults coming online. Molten Core with the grab. And a tie as well. Do want to say that tie was a little questionable, but I guess with everything that was going on in that fight, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Sad to see not BX, Weird Hex kind of die early in that fight, especially with having that trans online. I think the trans could have been helpful a little bit to kind of maybe keep them alive, but at the same time there was that tire online, so they likely were just waiting for it. But at this point now, they will be waiting for another tire to kind of come online unless they use it for the Doom Pistol.
Well, trans doesn't necessarily save you from a tire.
No, I know that, but if you're kind of on the outskirts of it, hoping, it can kind of heal you a little bit there.
Good movement there from We the Ops to sort of move out of the way of the dragons. Trans does come out, but PowerPoint is just pushing them all the way back into spawn with his whole hog.
Again, Magic Man with another tire already. Just within a singular fight here.
Pinpoint accuracy there from Brow Daddy, able to take that tire out before it done any damage to the rest of his team.
I will be back in just one moment.
Sure. So the attacking side do have some pretty big ults coming online for this next fight. Pretty much uncontested as well, seeing as though there's not really many ults for the defensive side here. And yeah, looks like they are going to be able to capitalize due to it. They did have that immort, but the damage was too much from the Space Jam, and the second you just move out of that immort, you're done for. I'm liking IQ Simple taking the high ground here. Immort is there to save the rest of the team from Buttweiser's Flux. Oh, but a nice hook from PowerPoint, able to take IQ Simple out from the high ground. Doesn't get the kill though. I think he was a little too high on HP. IQ Simple able to find one before the rest of his team is actually EMP'd there by Ravioli. BX Hunter was able to find Magic Man, but I think the picks are too heavily in favor of the Opps. And a pretty solid time bank, just under 2 minutes for them to take that. I think the Hog Orisa comp was a little... I wouldn't necessarily go for that. I would have definitely gone to maybe a Sigma. Sigma? I would have gone to a Sigma instead of a Orisa, but I wonder if we'll see that for their attacking push. And for the defensive side, they are again going to be going for this Sigma Zarya comp. Loving the Doomfist with that Zarya though, and the Junkrat. Going for double sort of main heals instead of like a Lucio or Baptiste with the Mercy. So we'll see how that goes.
Stick to the plan. And if you get into trouble, I'll bail you out.
Looks like the attacking side here are going to be running the double snipers with Ball Zarya. Or excuse me, triple snipers with Diana as well. Nice headshot by Ravioli. But Weiser just being a little too tanky to immediately die to that though. Oh, and a clean headshot. But Weiser just completely out of luck here, getting headshot firstly by Ravioli and then by Brow. Does get rezzed by Disc though. But Weiser yet again headshotted and taken out. Ravioli taken out too. No res here available. IQ Simple is able to take out Ravioli, but does get rezzed, and Brow Daddy able to avenge Ravioli as well. And Ravioli putting in a ton of work right now.
No one can hide from my sight.
Ooh, are they gonna peek? Are they gonna peek?
Let the dragon consume you.
Smart use of dragons actually to split up the team and hopefully get a pick while they were waiting to group up. It's going to be difficult for them to hold this now. It's better to just give it up. Looks like they're actually going to try and fight this point. It's going to be difficult, seeing as though it's like a 3v5 right now.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. He just missed Ravioli absolutely popping off right now.
I was gonna say, it looks like Rav is popping his Widow right now.
Yeah, the double snipers are really fun to watch on the side of Valhalla here.
So you see IQ Simple kind of looking for a little bit of a flank here. Definitely was looking for Ravioli and takes them out pretty effortlessly there.
A little caught up with the PowerPoint there to use his ult immediately, but does still get out. Weird Hex does get the res, but
on the
Super
side
Ninja
of
popping off.
We the Opps though.
Yeah, they did use, what was that, 3?
Yeah.
Brow Daddy does swap onto the McCree as well, just to help deal with the divey DPS. So, quite smart there. And then Nana comes out to save PowerPoint. Really nice fade from block. PowerPoint here just putting in a lot of work. It's looking like they will be able to take this past second point. And Block able to get out, but are they going to be met by PowerPoint? Oh, this is horrifying to watch. Oh, he does get Block. That's a big stagger. Make that 2. Magic Man is also taken out as well. This is going to be a 4v6. I'm liking the aggression right now. But Weiser does swap onto the Reinhardt. Is this the key? The tank line from Valhalla able to push them so far back. EMP does come out and finds for Brow Daddy. Able to take out Magic Man though. Super Ninja with a pick of his own. IQ following up, but Brow Daddy with a 2k. PowerPoint forced to use Whole Hog, and he might be able to get IQ Simple. No. IQ Simple able to CC him out of that. And a little shaky there when they were being forced to back up by the tank line, but the second they sort of reset and grouped up, they were able to hold that quite well. And only using one ult there as well. Speaking of ults, here comes a grab, High Noon, and bomb as well.
The massive bomb, since the High Noon was kind of coming from behind there, so it seemed almost as if Valhalla was a little bit kind of disconnected there in regards to that one.
Yeah, it feels like they weren't ready for that. And to be honest, we weren't either. Let's be real. But Weiser's looking pretty close to Shatter now. Oh, the Reinhardt buffs have also gone through. I completely forgot about that. Nice pin as well. Finds the Mercy in that Shatter as well, so it's looking like a pretty strong hold here right now. Super Ninja already to his ult again. It's pretty impressive. We are starting to see a few swaps on the side of Valhalla though. Well, that would be the perfect spot to use Meteor Strike if I were IQ Simple. Bomb works just as well. Oh, this is going to be big. Surprisingly finds BX Hunter as well as Weird Hex.
Gives a lot of space for follow-up though for Super Ninja to kind of push into these fights here aggressively and separate the rest of Valhalla from each other.
Super Ninja doing a really good job there.
I cast this forth. 60 seconds remaining.
Buttwise, yeah. Went for that sort of flank shatter. Did pay off. And the coalescence is also there. PowerPoint finding himself a 2k right now. Picks going back and forth. Oh, but BX Hunter was able to pin Buttwise and take him out of that fight. Surprisingly, Bomb does actually find Beat there, but the res is out from Disc. Able to bring back Buttwise of all people. So quite a big res there. Now coming into this last fight, we do see quite a few big ults from Valhalla. And smart to take out the Reinhardt. And now that the Reinhardt was out, they had a free shatter as well. So looks like they are actually going to be able to move this point along. Does get the hack onto PowerPoint, but Buttwiser is, or excuse me, BX Hunter is there. Shad does come out and finds BX Hunter as well. Not able to get the kill, but IQ Simple starting things off with a 2k. Buttwiser with a follow-up as well. Make that a 3k for Buttwiser. And it's looking like that's that.
And we will be going to map 5. Can we the Opps make this reverse sweep possible?
I think, who was it? It was Valhalla that started off incredibly strong there, with a 2-0 to begin with, but seems like we the Opps are really getting into their stride.
Now arriving at Ease.
Two really scary teams. Shame we can't
Okay,
interview them.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, this is true. I will be interested in kind of, I'm trying to scroll back right now and see who the MVP nominations were.
Dokie, as you do that, let's have a look. So we're on the Lighthouse here. Looks like both teams are going to go for a brawl. Brawls? Yeah, looks like brawl. On the side of Valhalla, they're going to be running the sim. Maybe to get to point pretty quickly here through this gap. With the Doomfist as well, Book of Sorrows coming in along with Moosh and Lil Masala.
I always like seeing a sim, but I find it very interesting when they take kind of an inside rotation here.
I'm
instead
actually
of going
surprised
on
that
the
they,
out.
yeah, I'm surprised they went for this TP. I mean, it still worked for them in the end, but
It's definitely a little more safer to kind of get to point, but you can definitely get there, you know, just a tad quicker if you do take that outside rotation, as long as you're careful in regards to the boops from the other team.
But it looks like the TP doesn't matter, as we the Ops were able to take that point quite convincingly to start things off. But Weiser here is going to be pretty close to a shatter coming into this next fight. Nothing else really online. And he's beating Brow Daddy by about 20% here. So maybe you can catch them off guards. Shatter is available for both Rhines right now. Who's going to use it first? Oh, nice block there from Buttweiser. Oh, that was big.
But a really big flank.
Yeah, I really like that.
Nice backing out there from Butt too, as they were very low and purple.
just gone over 50% now. A few ults starting to come online for the rest of the team. Let's see. We're going to see a copy and maybe Nano coming into this next fight on the side of Valhalla. Do need to watch out for Magic Man up top there. Bogosaurus though taken out by Magic Man. It's going to be tough. Copy is out of the fight now. Massive grab, but even bigger beat. Double beat actually. Both teams bring the beats out. Buttweiser yet again with this big slam. Browdaddy taking out IQ Simple, but off the map. It's going to be pretty difficult for them to touch here. Yeah, looking like we the Opps with a really strong start to map 5. What do you think there? What did Valhalla need to do?
I don't think it's anything that Valhalla did bad, honestly. I think these sort of, map 1, map 5, King of the Hill ones they're always tough to kind of say what did somebody do better than the other. Sometimes it's just the point presence. It's kind of the little bit more of focus from one team versus another. I think a big thing is the initial comps that you run out. You obviously can't predict the other team's comp and you don't know what they're going to do. So realistically, whoever has the better comp right out the gate is in a bit of an advantageous situation because one, they can usually take point first while also really building up on their ultimates first.
Speaking of comps, actually, it's interesting to see neither team is really running like
a boop heavy comp. Yeah, you usually see Hog, Ball, Diva, Pharah, and a Lucio. But it looks like we really only have just gotten the Lucio in regards to this booping.
I think we did see just Moosh on the Lucio just to give that speed boost to start things off and then move on to the Mercy. So it's actually really nice to see teams doing that and really utilizing
I almost wonder if Valhalla was expecting a Pharah, especially as we have seen a Pharah before, and that's why they kind of have both the bird for the air and the McCree with the damage boosting, but...
And IQ Simple able to get out with his life against Anpo. Oh, huge hack there. Able to stun Browdaddy out of his ult. Magic Man just putting in work as the Sombra. Unfortunately, they were able to bait out Book of Sorrow's ult. They did have to use grab, but let's see. Book of Sorrows does swap onto the Doomfist this time around. Make that an Ashe actually. JK. This is going to be tough. Magic Man here with EMP. IQ Simple as well. On a map like this where it's really tight coming into the point, you can definitely get a lot of value. And that EMP combo actually worked really well. Able to hack the McCree so that he couldn't stun the Reaper out of the ult. Just pretty much forced them to take this point here. Hack comes out and they are able to take Browdaddy out.
If we the Opps can kind of finish up any of these last few staggered kills here, then this will end up being their game. And they will have pulled off that reverse sweep.
Yeah, it's looking like it right now. IQ Simple and Buttweiser are doing some work. Really nice hacks from Magic Man as well. And I think that's going to be that then. 3-2 in favor of we the Opps.
Correct. That does bring us to MVPs. I do have the nominations for these teams in my DMs.
Yep.
So nominations on the side of please stop. On the side of Valhalla are nominating Little Masala. I'm sorry, We the Ops nominated Little Masala and Brow Daddy, and Valhalla nominated Super Ninja and IQ Simple.
Okay. Interesting. Do you want to start things off then?
So I'm going to kind of start here with the sports, if that is okay. I'm going to kind of go a little bit opposite on the lineups. I think Disc did a really good job all night long. We've always seen really incredible plays from them. I think Block did well. I do feel just Moosh. For me, it's going to pretty much come down to just Moosh or Masala in regards to the support.
Yeah.
I think the beats that we saw from Moosh, the Immort Fields, the Mercy play was really incredible. Never super out of position, kind of rotated with their team fairly well. I think Masala on the Ana though was fairly uncontestable and helped turn points. Masala is previously known as being a DPS player in Tier 2, so I think that's translating really well onto the Ana. But they're not just playing a DPS character. They are playing the support, and they're playing that support role very intelligently by using those antis to really help turn the tides of their fight, or as we saw on Hollywood when they were getting fluxed into the ground, use that anti to keep everyone and put everyone up immediately. As you pointed out, the sleeps were barely missing. And I think the positioning of Masala kind of just, they're my pick for MVP.
I think I do want to give a shout out to Weird Hex and Beant, but I do agree with you. I think Masala was putting in a lot of work on the Ana, getting some really nice sleeps, and we saw the nades and even the nanos either saving his team or helping, push them forward. And whoever he nanoed was doing a lot of work. And I'm not surprised as to why he got nominated. So yeah, I can't help but agree with you in saying that Lil Masala should be the MVP for support.
Okay. And who you want to go to next?
Okay, so remind me again who got nominated for DPS?
For DPS, we had IQ Simple. It looks like Brow Daddy did play a little bit of DPS, but I think their nomination was more for tank than it was for DPS.
So we did see Brow Daddy on the, I think Hanzo for a fair bit on Junkertown, was getting some nice headshots. We saw Buttweiser pretty much just getting headshot over and over and over again between him and Ravioli. Ravioli as well, really strong playing. We saw a lot of Torb. We saw that Widow coming into map 4 doing a lot of work. When he disappeared and came back, you just saw the entire kill feed was Ravioli, Ravioli, Ravioli.
Yep. When Book of Sorrows was in, though, Book was doing an amazing job as Doomfist and making some incredible space, as we saw on Lijiang. I think literally had like a 3K quite early on, and was doing a great job as the Echo. We did see the double birds from Valhalla at some point, but on the opposite side there, on the side of We the Ops, you had IQ Simple and Magic Man just really synergized DPS duo tonight.
Yeah, I saw some really big tires from both teams as well, Magic Man especially. But yeah, honestly, I can't help but agree with the nominations and again give it to IQ Simple. I think his Doomfist was a treat to watch. Always getting big meteor strikes, working really well with his off tank and getting those big sort of space jams that we saw
See,
time and time again.
I'm stuck a little bit between IQ and Magic because I think a lot of the hacks
It's
that we were
tough. It's
seeing from
definitely
Magic
tough.
were really
Yeah.
saving the team on top of the tires. I do think IQ Simple made just as much of an impact. I personally, in this situation, probably would have gone for Magic, but on top of the nomination vote, Bambi, our mod who did run the lobby for this game kindly for the two teams here, as we had 3 games going on that night. Bambi had voted Masala for support as his pick, but also is back and forth between the two of them here. So between IQ or Magic. So I think at this rate, since so many of us are kind of back and forth, it's hard not to go with the MVP nomination.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be IQ there.
Hmm.
Magic Man just edged out slightly by IQ, but yeah, very close. I do want to give a shout out to Bambi though for being there and keeping an eye on this lobby before we forget. So moving on to tank then. What do you think?
So for tank, we saw obviously PowerPoint play that one map there.
Yep.
Did a really good job as Roadhog, kind of making some good space. We saw even you and I know PowerPoint because we played on a team with them, so got to rip him a little bit that questionable hook that we were talking about
Hmm.
in the beginning of Junkertown there. But PowerPoint did a good job. We saw BX Hunter and Brow Daddy really pairing very well together. As
Yep.
Brow Daddy also pairing well with Sakura Sauce, so I can completely understand why Brow Daddy is a nomination for Tank MVP. He has incredible presence as a tank. Has a deep player pool. We saw some Sigma, some Rhine, we saw some Diva, we saw Zarya. I think we saw Winston at some point. I could be wrong on that one
Yep.
though. But we definitely see a variety of the characters that he can play, and he plays them all to a very strong level too. Blocked quite a couple of different shatters. I think on Hollywood we saw eat that singular grab from Super Ninja in the corner there.
Yep.
So just really good timing and usage of cooldowns.
See, for me it's difficult. I think Super Ninja and Buttweiser were really working well together as well. Super Ninja
Hmm.
doing a lot of work on the Zarya as we saw, and Buttweiser really playing well on the Reinhardt for the most part. I think we saw him a little bit on the Sigma as well, but it definitely made a statement on the Reinhardt there, especially against Brow Daddy. It's
And
tough,
this was
honestly.
Buttweiser's debut game on tank in tier three. So
Right.
kind of coming in when Butt I think was supposed to be, I want to say, more of an off tank in regards to playing with the team. Because they previously had Andrew on the team. I think Butt was supposed to be a little bit more supportive both on those situations. So to kind of step in and play main tank and play it so well is definitely a compliment to him.
Yeah, I agree.
I personally
It's
would
tough.
come down to between Super and Butt. We have Bambi's thought for it is Super for tank. I'm I'm leaning more towards Buttweiser though.
I think I am as well.
We saw great blocking of a lot of different shatters, building of those shatters, the charging that we saw on first point Lee Jong. They used the grab, and instead of kind of, as we see happen a lot, hammer down into a grab, he chose to kind of charge into it instead, make a lot of space, back the rest of Valhalla up. Um, and then even just there on Ilios, that incredible on Lighthouse block of a shatter, an immediate go around for a flank, kind of just really well timed by them.
Yeah, I think they were really strong in their presence, along with just the way they sort of controlled the momentum and kept,
Hmm.
the ball in the enemy team's court. Yeah, I think if I had to choose, it would have to be Buttweiser. But again, it's similar to with the DPS, with him only just edging out Super Ninja by just a little bit. Do want to give a big shout out to Brow Daddy as well, though. I think he played phenomenally, and there's a reason why we saw him get the nomination there.
I
But
agree.
I think that's going to be it. So the MVPs will be Buttweiser, IQ, and Lil Masala, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I think that should wrap things up there, guys. Again, it's a little bit unorthodox, not being able to do this live. Um, but
This
if
this may be something we do a little bit more going forward. This is not the ideal. There'll be some type of announcement on it going forward on if this kind of runs this way. But we're trying to work with when we have three games all literally at the same time, and this was kind of our best option for it.
yeah, this will be sort of our backup option. If it comes down to it. But yeah, hopefully that will sort of give some sort of insurance to every team in the league. And I think that's pretty much it. So that's going to be us signing out.